I have a question for y'all about Seth.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He broke Brady's record this last week, in the all-time passing record at the University of Memphis in 3 years. We've spent a lot of time covering Brady. Where are we at with Seth in terms of in the pantheon of Memphis Tiger quarterbacks?
The issue that's going to keep him behind Brady is reaching the height of the Cotton Bowl, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I've always thought, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. If you think I'm wrong, I still am going to have my opinion. Maybe you could sway it, probably not. I've always thought that Seth was the more talented player.
Yes.
I've always thought that. But the surroundings and the situation and the weaponry was not quite there. But now, going into next year, if this roster stays together, that excuse is kind of deleted. It's gone.
For sure.
So now Seth is going to have to try to push past and push this program to new heights, and then I think we can have that conversation for real.
Yeah, and you also have to separate this conversation with Memphis quarterbacks because I don't think Seth nor Brady is as talented as Riley nor Paxton.
Right.
That's not a conversation to have. Those are the two.
I think the best of the run was Riley, personally.
It's close.
No.
It's close. Both of those guys, they're 1 and 2, talent-wise. Now, overall, just career achievements, and a lot of that's going to be because of longevity. Like you said, it's going to be hard to pass Brady until you win a conference championship, go to a New Year's. Those are just things, heights that never been seen at the University of Memphis before. So if you don't match those, even if you have all the stats, it's like, okay, we got stats on one side, accomplishments on the other. How do you stack those and weigh those?
And we know accomplishments
outweigh
yes, they
stats.
do. They really do.
Yeah, absolutely. And so it's there. It's on the table like we're saying right now. Like Memphis could be the best G5 team in the country next year. They could be one of the best offenses in the country overall again. Like everything's on the table for him to go grab like the most prestigious career at the University of Memphis. And it's kind of fitting from a guy who started from day one as a true freshman to go through his entire season or through his entire career at a school and start that entire time. Like that's the one thing that's missing for him. Everything else has been checked. I mean, freshman All-American, he's going to break all the passing records.
Yeah.
It's just
because of longevity.
Because of longevity, yes. It's just because you got to check mark those accomplishment boxes.
And I was thinking about this just sort of after that game. What do you have? 364, 4 TDs. Yeah. He accounted for 5. Ran for one.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about, you remember the first 6 games of the year when he was not taking care of the ball overly well?
Didn't he throw a pick in every game? Or it was like first 4 or 5 games?
And he really played bad first game of the year. Like
he was the guy that we felt
Bethune-Cookman.
like was holding. We were like, he's holding the team back right now.
Well, not necessarily holding them back, but he wasn't doing anything to facilitate winning at a high level. Like,
that's what I mean.
He wasn't a reason you were losing, but he also wasn't a reason you were winning at that moment.
Correct.
And by the end of the year, these last few games of the year, my God.
Yeah.
He was unbelievable. He was really good, and you saw the growth because I was questioning, like, has he regressed? He's progressed. He's progressed.
Yeah, no, that was a question.
He has progressed as a passer and a quarterback.
Yeah, around the middle of the year, that was a question. Has Seth Henigan regressed? Have we already seen the best of Seth Henigan at Memphis? Was it his freshman year? Was that the best we'll ever see him? In the second half of the season, he really came along, and I don't want to take any credit away from him, but I think a lot of that is Tim Cramsey and what he started doing as a play caller.
A lot of credit.
I think it's the cohesion that this offensive line finally got with Seth Henigan at the helm because he's just never had a super successful offensive line while at the University of Memphis. And then it's weapons and players stepping up. Blake Watson stepping up, Rock Taylor stepping up. And any quarterback knows that it takes everything around them a lot of the time to bring them up a level. And not to say that he couldn't have done it without these things, but putting all that together and seeing it, you realize, okay, when he has stuff around him, when he has the play calling and the offensive talent and the offensive line, then Seth Henigan's a pretty dang good quarterback.
There was a moment where he had thrown, 7 picks. It was about halfway through the year. And then the last 7 games of the year, including the Liberty Bowl.
2-2.
19 touchdowns to 2 interceptions through 7 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just, tip the cap. Whatever you got to do. Like, my God, like you should be elated that this guy has one more year here.
Yeah.
You really should, because I think he's grown a lot, and he definitely showed that down the stretch of the season. There's some resolve there. He had some injury concerns at times. He pushed through that. He showed some toughness. He's definitely been in some battles. He's battle tested. He finally, like in that North Texas game, there was that moment of, like, oh God, are we going to fold again? We're down. Are you going to fold after giving up this big lead? He didn't. Delivered a strike to Joe Skates.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of positive momentum with him and this program in general.